Yo, what's up guys, it's Tauraxus here and welcome to my first quick gameplay of Experimentation. First of all, I want to say thanks to Fifi Games for the free key in order to play this game. With that being said, if you're new to my channel or you haven't subscribed yet, please consider to do so, and on that note, without further ado, let's play. Story 1, The Mirror. Oh, come on. I slammed my fist hard against the wall, hoping the pain would distract me from my thoughts. It didn't do anything, so I struck again. Are you alright in there? Damn, she heard me from all the way downstairs. I cursed quietly and flopped down on the bed, not dignifying her with a response. It's hard to call me a cool-headed person, but today was really a test of my nerves. The first thing that happened was I got in a fight at college. It's not the first time I've gotten into a fight, but this time I had a reason. I stood up for a girl. She had an argument with her boyfriend, he's a jerk, and my extreme sense of justice played against me. We beat the shit out of each other and I won, but instead of being grateful to me, she took pity on me and they got back together. And now I'm the one threatened with expulsion from the school. Then at dinner, instead of understanding where I was coming from, my father scolded me and my mother agreed with him. I stopped eating and went upstairs. How can you live as an honest person if life is unfair and punishes those who stand up for what's right? Aggravated, I dialed the number of my only friend. I wanted to go for a walk and talk about everything, but he said he had some business to take care of. There was nothing to do to get my mind off of it now. Are my problems insignificant? Sometimes I have thought about it myself, but every time I come to the conclusion that only the person with the problems can determine the significance of them for himself. And when someone says I wish I had your problems, it's nothing but false words and self-importance. I didn't want to talk with my parents, I didn't want to play anything on my computer, and the only thing I wanted to do was a no-go. I stood up and walked over to the large mirror that stood in the corner of my room. Some distant relatives gave it to our family a long time ago and I wasn't interested in having it. Now it naturally stood in my room because there was nowhere else to put it. I never looked at it, I'd forgotten it even existed. I saw myself in a mirror, the bruise was dark under my eye. At least the other guy had it worse. I think I broke his nose. He was crying like a girl, but what was I planning to do now? As I stared into the mirror, a shaggy-haired guy with stubble, angry eyes and flushed cheeks looked back at me. I felt more angry with myself than with anyone else, and the mirror was so dirty it had a layer of dust covering its glass. I brought my finger up to wipe it away, but instead of feeling the hard surface, it was soft. What the hell was this? Like bouncy jelly? I was able to press down on the glass and my fingers sank into it. It suddenly enveloped me, sucking me deeper and deeper inside. I knew I needed to escape. I tried to pull my fingers out, but the mirror wouldn't let me go. My wrist was inside a thick consistency now. It was as cold as a snowdrift. This wasn't good. I jerked my hand back as hard as I could. To my horror, I was only sucked in harder. My hand was now inside already up to my elbow. My shoulder, then completely gone. Mom, Dad, somebody help me. Panicking, I screamed with all my might. I didn't know if anyone downstairs heard me or not, but the mirror had already sucked my head in. I breathed in with all my lungs and squeezed my eyes shut, hoping it would be over quickly. Darkness engulfed my whole body. I felt a chill all over my body and a downward pull, but then the sensation suddenly stopped. I was too afraid to open my eyes or breathe, but soon my lungs were burning. I opened my mouth and inhaled. And nothing. I was still alive. I slowly opened my eyes. Phew. It was my room. I stood in front of the mirror, red as a lobster, trying to catch my breath. I must have imagined it. That wouldn't be out of character for me. I walked over to the mirror and brushed the dust off the hard surface, leaving a greasy trail. Something seemed strange, but I couldn't figure out what it was. This fierce obsession sobered me immediately, and I felt hungry. I was going to eat the lunch I left behind earlier. I went downstairs and my parents were in the kitchen watching TV. I hope my screaming didn't worry you. My parents jumped up and looked at me in shock. Screaming? Did something happen? I didn't hear anything. When did you get back from school? I thought you were still in class. What? No, I mean after I got home and went upstairs. My parents looked at each other incredulously. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Mom came over and felt my forehead. You're a little hot, but you don't feel feverish. Are you sick? Why don't you lie down for a bit? I'm not sick. What are you talking about? I was down here half an hour ago telling you about school. You don't remember? What's that under your eye? Is it a bruise? You got in a fight? Yeah, I told you already. You know what? I'm gonna go for a walk. Without waiting for an answer, I stormed out of the house. What was going on? I wasn't crazy, was I? I distinctively remembered coming home, our conversation, the argument. Were both of my parents insane? Things outside our home were strange too. They didn't seem real. I looked at everything, but I couldn't figure out what the problem was. Maybe I really was sick, in a daze. I stepped out onto the road and felt someone pulling me back sharply. Just then, a car whizzed by in front of me. I looked behind me. It was Kyle, my best and only friend. Dude, what are you doing? Are you trying to kill yourself? You need to check the road before you walk. That car was going the wrong direction. That's not my fault, but thank you. Wrong direction? What are you talking about? What the hell is that under your eye? When did you get that? Yeah, about that. Wait, why are you even here? You said you couldn't do anything when I invited you out earlier. You invited me out? When? Are you not feeling good or something? You're being weird. I already heard that one, but I clearly remember our conversation. You probably dreamt it. You came home from school, tired and dozed off. It happens to me all the time, but I don't mistake dreams for reality. Yeah, you're right. It's the only reasonable explanation. Would you mind taking a walk with me? Of course not. I don't have anything to do until later tonight anyway. We walked around for a few hours, aimlessly wandering around the city. In the evening, we went to get burgers from a fast food place. It wasn't until I saw the menu that I noticed the text. It was unreadable. Looking more closely, I realized that the text had been flipped backwards. Kyle, what the hell is this? I've never seen this before. What are you talking about? Did I have a new burger or something? Damn, I already placed my order. No, I mean the text. Why does it look like that? Look like what? They flipped the wrong way. Anam ekatroyo redro. What's that? Okay, Steve, you're freaking me out. Did you forget how to read? Are you on drugs? I lowered my gaze to where Kyle's tattoo was. It was on his left forearm. It was supposed to be on his right. My vision went blank. Without saying a word, I turned to leave and ran out of the building. I realized what was wrong. As I looked around, I realized that the whole world was mirrored. Cars were traveling in opposite lanes. All the lettering was backwards. Even the setting sun was hanging in the east. I felt sick and started to vomit. Instinctively, I ran home, even though I was unable to see the road. What happened? Was I sent to a mirror world? So now what? How would I get home? When I touched the mirror earlier, it was solid again. I ran up to my house, but stopped short when I saw who was coming in the front door. It was me. Well, mirror me. A copy of me walked into the house, probably about to tell his parents how I spent the day. I could see now why his parents reacted so strangely. My panic was growing stronger by the second. What was I supposed to do now? Where should I go? There's no way I could go back to that house. They'd either send me to prison for breaking in or to a mental institute if I told them what was going on. I had no options at all, so I wandered around, trying to figure out what was happening. I lost track of time when I stopped at a somewhat familiar house. I cannot read that. What the hell is that? A girl named Maya went to college with us, but she was known as a witch. She was bullied for her interest in the occult, which she took very seriously. Hoping for the best, I rang the doorbell. The red-haired girl looked out the window and then opened the door. There was a look of bewilderment on her face since we'd never spoken to each other at all. Steve, from school, what do you want? Why are you at my house? Maya, I desperately need your help, but are you home alone? I am home alone, but why would I let you in my house? Is this a prank? A prank? Why would I do that? I've never done anything to hurt you. We've never even spoken, at least not in this reality. In this reality, this has to be a prank. Why should I believe you? Oh my god, I'm desperate right now. Please believe me and let me in. Fine, calm down. You can come in, but you need to take your shoes off. I quickly slipped in behind her. She had a smaller house, but it was clean and cozy, not unlike mine. It didn't seem like a witch's lair. I thought about this as we made our way to a room. In a room were a few skulls, some stones, books with incomprehensible text and tinctures. The spicy scent of her candles hit my nose as soon as I entered. Ah, this is how I pictured your room would be after all. I wouldn't be rude if I were you. You're the one who needs help, remember? You're the one who's desperate enough to come to me. You're right, I'm sorry. I've just felt so overwhelmed. So, are you going to tell me what happened? If you're like the Maya I know, you'll actually listen to me. Maybe you'll even believe me. Maya sat down in a chair with a cup of tea and stared at me silently. I guess I'll just tell you, but it sounds unbelievable. I've had the worst day of my life. Everything was normal until I touched the mirror at my house. I can't even remember who we got it from anymore. A relative gave it to us a long time ago, but I've never interacted with it before. I touched the glass and it was soft. Then I got sucked inside. I know it sounds weird, but that's what happened. Then I found myself in a world that isn't mine. It's mirrored. I didn't realize it at first and thought I had dreamed it. This world is like mine but backwards. My world's Maya is right-handed and you're left-handed. Judging by the way you're holding the cup, and that's my situation. I expected some kind of reaction, but it was as if she wasn't fazed at all. So what did it feel like? What? The transition. You said you were sucked in. What did it feel like? Seriously, that's what you're asking me about? Okay, well, it was cold. Extremely cold. Like being in a blizzard and unable to move. I tried to escape, but it clung to me and couldn't let go. Like quicksand or something. The more I resisted, the more I was sucked in. Interesting. Of course, you would find this fascinating. So people from this world are mirrored replicas from your world. Yes, that's exactly it. My parents were convinced I was still at school, and Carl said he was too busy to hang out with me, but he met up with me when I left the house. I ran off when I noticed the text in a restaurant was backwards. Then when I got home, I saw myself walking into my house. I didn't know where to go. Please, you have to believe me. She finished her tea and picked up one of the books from the floor, flipping through the pages thoughtfully. This mirror, did it look something like this? Yes, it looks like that. I'm not sure about the patterns, but I'm pretty sure that's it. You need to be sure. Does this mean you know what happened to me? I believe my book has something about the mirror in it. The mirror can transport someone to an alternate world, like you said, if its owner is in severe mental distress and wishes with all his soul to change his life. It gives you a reflection of reality where many things are reversed. So this is real then, I haven't lost my mind. No, you did not, I believe you. What am I supposed to do now? How do I go back? Do you actually want to go back? What else am I supposed to do? I'm not a real person here. Everyone who knows me only knows my mirror self. But if you were so dissatisfied with your life, you could start over here. You could run away and go anywhere. No, I don't want that. I want my life back. I want my real life back. Maybe I didn't always like it, but it was mine. That's a strong resolve, which is one of the 3 components you'll need to go back. But it says you only have 1 day. 1 day? How can I do that? What happens if I don't make it? Then you will stay in our world forever. The way back will be sealed. No, I can't believe this. You said I have 1 of the components. What are the other 2? The second is a potion that will ease your transition and help keep your mind and body intact. I have all the ingredients. I can make it now within an hour. The third thing I will need is the mirror itself. The mirror? How do I get it to you? That's up to you to figure out. It'll be dark soon. Sneak into the house, get the mirror and bring it here. Seriously, even if I manage to pick it up, how am I supposed to take it out of the house? I don't know, but it's your house. You know the layout. If you don't want to go, don't go, but you'll be stuck here forever. Damn it, alright, I'll get the mirror. You prepared a potion for me. I'm not going to stay in this world. As you wish. Don't take too long. It had long since gotten dark outside. I left Maya's house and I jogged toward my house. Would I be able to get the mirror out? If this Steve's routine is the same as mine, he should have gone to bed by now, just like his parents. As I approached the house, I made sure that the lights were off, but my house keys, I'd forgotten to bring them with me. I couldn't possibly knock on the front door to be let in. I'd have to climb in from outside. From the side of the house, I was able to reach the 2nd floor window to my room. I had practiced sneaking out and in before, when I was younger and got in trouble a lot. Like a professional thief, I reached the window and quietly opened it, trying not to make any noise. I climbed inside and found myself in my room. My eyes slowly adjusted to the darkness. I looked down at the bed and almost yelled. I saw myself sleeping on the bed. It was expected, of course, but the sight of it startled me. Next to the bed there was that horrible mirror. I needed to grab it quietly and leave, but how would I get it outside? In principle, it could fit through the window, but I was on the second floor. What about going downstairs in the house with it? I tiptoed over to the mirror and put both hands on it. It wasn't too heavy for me to hold, but then the bed creaked. I froze in place. My heart sank into my heels as I glanced at the bed. My mirror self was sitting up, staring at me. We stared at each other for a few seconds, both in shock. Then he jumped up and shouted, pointing at me. Thief! Thief! There's a thief in the house. Wait, let me explain. But it was too late. He lunged at me. I managed to get in front of the mirror when he came at me and started hitting me. I tried to defend myself, but my mirror self was clearly stronger, maybe even supernatural strength. A couple of blows knocked the wind out of me and I flew off to the other side of the room. Wait, I'm not a thief. I can explain everything. I'm actually you. But my enraged mirror self didn't want to listen. He lifted me up and started slamming me against the cupboard. Was he going insane? Adrenaline rushed through me and I kicked him in the jaw with a powerful knee strike. He jerked back in surprise and then I punched him, sending him crashing to the floor. I didn't have any time to lose. I rushed to grab the mirror, but at the last moment my mirror self, laying on the ground, tripped me and I flew straight into the glass at full speed. There was a sharp cracking sound. The mirror shattered into pieces. My last component was destroyed. My last chance to go back home. Shit. It was gone. I jumped to my feet and, pushing my bewildered mirror self aside, leaped out of the window. I don't know how I landed without breaking any bones, but my feet were carrying me down the street with incredible speed. I had to get back to Maya. Where else was I supposed to go? Did I have any other options? She could think of something. She would think of something. I ran without stopping until I was at her doorstep. The door was unlocked and I went inside. Maya, are you there? It all went wrong. Responding to my screams, she came downstairs. That was fast. Where's the mirror? It all went wrong. The mirror's gone. It's broken. It broke? Yes. What am I supposed to do now? I don't know. The mirror is necessary for the transition. Damn it. Think. Is there another mirror we can use? There has to be more than one, right? Even if there is, time is running out. I don't think it's possible to find one. Wait, do you hear that? There were voices outside. They were getting closer. I can hear them. The voices sound familiar. I looked outside. I was shocked by what I saw. Mom, Dad, Kyle and me. They all walked together in our direction as if zombified, repeating over and over, leave our world, be gone, be gone. Gradually other people began to join in, coming out of their homes and marching with them. I slammed the door shut and bolted it. What is going on? They're acting like zombies. Is this how it normally is? No, this isn't normal for our world either. They had already reached the house and began to bang on the door. We need to go upstairs now, my room. Okay, but then what? My heart was beating like crazy. What were they going to do to me? Torture me? Burn me? Kill me? I had no doubt they wouldn't help me go back to my world. We went up to Maya's room and locked it behind us. This won't buy us much time. They're still coming. Can we hide anywhere? I don't believe so, but I don't believe I'm in any danger. They want you. I started pacing around the room, looking for something to help. The far side of the room was hidden by a curtain. When I opened it, I saw the same mirror. It had been here the whole time. Maya, you have the mirror here. Why did you lie to me? What? What are you talking about? Oh, holy Satan, that's the mirror. I didn't have it. That used to be just junk, not a mirror, and it's the one from the book. The crowd of people had already broken down the door to her house and were moving upstairs while chanting, "Be gone, be gone, be gone." So if this is the same mirror, we can use it for the ritual, right? The transition, we might be able to. I don't know how it got here, but it should work. It's the only option you have left. Are you sure you want to go back? What the F do you think? I'm about to be torn apart by crazy people here. I'd given anything to have my life back. Alright, then drink this. She gave me a bitter liquid, but I drank it completely in a gulp. Well done. Now you need to focus on how strongly you want to go back, then touch the mirror. The crowd had already started breaking the door down. I knew the poor latch wouldn't last much longer. I tried to focus all my thoughts, not on the possible consequences that would befall me if I delayed even a moment, but on my past life. How insignificant those problems seemed now. When I reached full zen, I touched the mirror, but nothing happened. My fingers hit the hard, cold surface. Inside the mirror, a frightened, desperate young man stared back at me. It's not working, Maya. She stared at me in horror. She couldn't say anything, feeling my despair but being unable to help. Maya, please help me. I don't want to die here. I want to live. And then I felt the surface begin to change. My fingers dipped inside, feeling the familiar cold. There was a ripple over the mirror. At that moment, the door to the room was kicked open and a crowd of people piled in with burning eyes, pointing their fingers at me. Be gone, be gone, be gone, be gone. Maya got in their way, trying to hold him back, but they shoved her to the side effortlessly. Linda's hands were reaching for me. Hopefully she would be okay, but I had to go home. When you get back into your world, find me. Maya shouted one last time as I ducked into the mirror. It would have taken a few seconds for the crowd to catch up with me. What would have happened if that caught me? It was best not to see where they were. This time I didn't hold my breath or close my eyes, but there was still darkness all around me. Had something gone wrong? Was I not back in my world? Was I in hell? Space? Why was it so dark in there? Gradually my eyes adjusted, and I could make out the outline of my room. I was back in my house. It was just nighttime, so I couldn't see anything. The mirror was in its original place, as if nothing had ever happened. I decided to not touch it again and risk going back. I had to make sure everything was back to normal. I switched on the light and opened the first book I could find. All of the text was in the right order, left to right. I did it. I was back. Tomorrow I would go find Maya in my world and thank her. I don't know how, but we did it. Unable to contain my emotions, I ran downstairs. There was still a light on in the kitchen. That was strange, because usually everyone was asleep at this time. Once down there, I found my mom at the table in the dark. I saw her drinking tea for a late night treat. I just went over and gave her a hug. Hey honey, what's wrong? Is everything okay? I'm fine, Mom. Everything's fine now. I'm sorry I acted like that today. I realized I act like, an asshole sometimes. I'm sorry. Mom grinned and stroked my head. What is being a mother if your kids don't act up sometimes? I'm glad you realized and apologized, no? That's the most important thing. Would you like some tea? Yeah, I think I need to calm my nerves. I sat down at the table and Mom went to pour a cup of tea. When she turned sideways, I noticed the earring in her left ear glinting from the light. Do you want 2 spoonfuls of sugar or 3? I'll have the usual. No problem. But I never had tea with sugar. She must have known that. She had to. Mom, why did you change your earring to your left ear? What are you talking about, darling? It's normally on your right ear. She stopped and put the cup down. Her dark grin showed in the dim light of the lamp. I felt uneasy. I threw a glance in the direction of the front door. My father was standing there, latching the door shut. What's going on? I don't understand. I should be home. You didn't think you could escape so easily, did you? I screamed as loud as I could. She held out her hands, which began to lengthen in size until they closed around my throat. Then again, everything went dark. The end. Oof. Okay, so I can't read the text for some reason. The text just decided to become all weird. But this seems like it's mostly just a visual novel type of game. But it's pretty good. The first story was really good. So I'm going to rate this game 5 out of 5 and I recommend it. Even though I do think it is a very short game. There's probably 5 stories in total if I look at the achievements and stuff that you can get. No, wait, sorry, there's actually 4 stories in total as far as it seems, but there is a hidden achievement, so that could mean there is a 5th story. But we will see as I progress through the game itself, which I'll do in more episodes to come. But with that being said, the link is in the description if you guys want to try the game out yourself. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment down below what you thought of the game, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. You can also support me and my channel personally through my Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, or Premium YouTube membership. And on that note, I will see you guys in the next video. So until next time, take care. Bye bye.